Recently, we recorded a podcast on priorities, and I discussed a scene from City Slickers that talks about the one thing. And I want to discuss that with you in your morning cup of inspiration. What is the one thing, you ask? Well, there was a scene in this movie between Jack Palance's character, and his name was Curly, and Billy Crystal's character named Mitch. And Curly says to Mitch at one point, he said, you guys spend all year long working yourself up into knots. You come out here on a 2-week vacation to drive a herd of cattle across the plains, and you think you're going to just find the answer to life. And he goes, you don't know what the answer to life is. And so Mitch says to Curly, what is it? He said, the secret is right here. And Mitch says, your finger? He says, no, it's the one thing. And Mitch looked at him and said, the one thing? What is it? And he said, well, that's for you to figure out. And what he was talking about is, what is your utmost priority? Not priorities, because in that discussion, Terry brought out the fact that the word priority had only changed in the last several decades from or to priorities. It's like you can't have tons of priorities, otherwise nothing is a priority. But what's the one thing? Well, we read about that. Paul tells us what it should be in the Bible in Philippians. I'm going to read from the New International Version today. Philippians chapter 3, verse 13. It says, but one thing I do, forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead, I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus. And that's the prize that we will receive at the end of our lives when we get to heaven and we stand before God and he says, well done, thou good and faithful servant. You kept your focus. You kept your priority right. So what is your priority? Your number one priority. If it's not loving God with all your heart, soul, and mind, if it's not serving him and pressing on for the prize of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus, then your priority is not where it should be. I hope that blesses you today. Hey, I want to remind you to tune into our podcast. We're posting a lot of the episodes right here on Fearless Faith, so you can just hit play, or you can go to our website at www.ffaith.org. And right at the top, you'll see where all of our podcasts are running. You can press on that, or you can go to wherever you get your podcast. But remember, keep your eyes on that one thing today and every day. Don't get your eyes off it. Keep your focus. God bless you, and I'll see you soon for another morning cup of inspiration.